there, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't uploaded in a while. I've just been, a lot of things have happened. However, I did have a lot of ideas, either related to filming videos about books, about reading books, but also about some things linked to my work, you know, handling a 9-to-5, work from home, work from the office, things like that. So I had a lot of ideas. However, those kind of take time to put in place. But there was one idea that I had about reading that I really wanted to get done now, actually, because I've been looking into buying my next book, and I was looking at my TBR on GoodReads, and I just thought one day, you know, I just want to get rid of all my TBRs on GoodReads. I just want to reset it. I've been on GoodReads for a while. My tastes in books have changed. The things that I was adding to my TBR shelves on GoodReads were a lot of hyped books, things that I've heard people talk that sounded interesting at the time to me, but not anymore. And also there were a lot of books that I thought, oh, that would be a good video idea, things like that I'm not interested in doing anymore. So especially now that, you know, I don't really use my library at the moment, but I also buy my own books. I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. I guess I like to select the books that I'm buying to what I'm in the mood for, what I know I'm gonna be in the mood for, rather than what's popular or what's a good idea, even though I have no idea if the book in itself interests me. So anyway, so that's why I was going through GoodReads, and I just had so much different shelves that I had created. I know I also have a video series on my channel about cleaning up my GoodReads shelves, so I'll link it up above, but even that, I still have just so many books on there that when I look at them, I don't even remember what they were about. I don't really even remember what my video idea would have been, or who recommended that book, and why I was intrigued about it. So I think I don't really know how this video is gonna go, but what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna get rid of most of my shelves, if not all of them, that I had created. So I'm gonna see if I want to get rid of all my want to read books or just the TBR shelves that I had created, and then I'm gonna go on my physical bookshelf and just show the books that are currently on my TBR, the books that I have purchased this year, that I want to read this year. Let's just have a look at my GoodReads. I'm just gonna do a screen grab. As you can see, on my bookshelves on GoodReads, I have 469 books that I want to read. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna touch those ones just yet. The red shelf is gonna stay there because I want to make sure that I know what books I've read before, and then I can go back to those books and see what are my reviews and all that. But what for sure I'm gonna get rid of is all my red dash genre. So I'm gonna get rid of those, and I'm gonna get rid of the TBR dash genre. I'm also gonna get rid of those categories. So really I'm gonna get rid of everything here but the ones that GoodReads had created. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm excited because look at this, I just have so many. I mean, my 2022 radar, yes, that could be something, but I usually tend to add them on Amazon anyway, because it's easier for me to track the pricing, and also I can add them to my wish list. That way I can easily see, put books that sound interesting, and then I read them, and I can add some more. So I don't want to overwhelm myself with putting so many books that I forget what they are about and then I never get to them. I will go to my bookshelves edit. Here we go. So I know I've had made some that were exclusive, which means that I think you could only put a book in that shelf and not in other shelves, something like that, right? Yeah, so they can only be in that shelf, not in the other exclusive shelves that you have. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Okay, so first of all, let's just count how many I have, because that's crazy. Okay, so I had 59 shelves. And I thought having only a few shelves was messing me up with, I was adding too many books. Clearly, I was adding too many books and I just had too many shelves as well, because instead of reducing the amount of books I was putting. So for sure, there are a few shelves I want to keep. So I want to keep the DNF shelf. I want to keep the physical TBR shelf. I'm gonna remove that. The pre-ordered shelf actually is a good idea, just to track my pre-orders in case, I do like to be surprised when I do my pre-orders. I order them a little bit in advance, and so if ever I forget that this book is coming up, I can always check. Oh, maybe I feel like maybe I had pre-ordered it, so I can double check. So let's keep that. The Top Book Club, maybe I'll keep that because, so here's the thing. I'm subscribed to Tor, to the Tor's newsletter, and it has free ebooks every month, I think. There's one free ebook monthly, and usually, well, I just missed the last one, unfortunately, but whatever. It's only available for a couple of days for you to download. And I haven't read any yet, but I feel like it's a nice way to have free ebooks that I might not be super interested in just yet, but I do really enjoy Tor as a publisher, that I definitely want to check out more of what they offer. So I think I'll keep that shelf as well, just so I remember that I have those ebooks, because usually ebooks tend to get lost when you don't see them, visually. You don't see them all together. You only see, yeah. So I think that's a good idea to keep that one. The high medium I'm getting rid of. The 2022, wow, 2020 and 2021. I feel like those were books that I've read in 2020 and books that I read in 2021. Although I clearly stopped because I read more than 41 books. So yeah, I guess let's get rid of those shelves because I didn't continue with those shelves anyway. The 2021 Radar and 2022 Radar shelves, I think were a great idea, but that's what I'm gonna transition into doing with my Amazon wishlist, where I'm really selecting books that have read the synopsis and I understand the genre, I understand the age category, I have maybe looked up some reviews, or I know the author, I've read the author before. I've done my research that I'm fairly certain that's something I want to read. I will never know that it's something I'm gonna enjoy until I read it, because it always depends, right? But at least I will know that it's something that I want to read at this time. And usually, like, my moods and my tastes in books change, but I don't change that quickly that if I purchase a book and I read it within the year, it's not gonna change too much. If anything, though, it would help either define my tastes a little bit more, because I was thinking, maybe I was purchasing this book thinking I was gonna like it, or I was interested in that genre, and then realizing that maybe the type of genre or the other tropes that they have, it's not really something that I jam with. Am I making sense right now? Am I just talking gibberish? I don't know. It's really hard. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of the low. Okay, that's fine. Adult, middle grade, young adult. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Academy books. Was this like dark academy books, or was it like textbook stuff? Oh yeah, no, dark. Okay, that was for a video. Clearly I completely forgot I had this shelf. Never mind. Audiobooks gonna get rid of. I think audiobooks were, this shelf specifically was probably based on recommendations that people were saying, those audiobooks, if you read this book, read it with an audiobook. Author read before was clearly unused, no point. Book clubs, nope. DNF paused. Yes, I will keep that one as well, although it is very redundant between my DNF and my DNF post. So maybe I'll rearrange those two. Okay, sorry, I had to just make some space on my phone. I'll just start over from what I was saying. For the environmental biology shelf, I want to keep this around just because those are not books I plan to read immediately. Just I'm not really in this type of mood right now, but it's definitely something I want to cultivate over the years. I want to make sure I have a backlist of that type of book, just because it's my background. It's something that I'm super interested in, environmental biology. So I want to have this somewhere, but I don't want to have it on my Amazon wish list, because those are not books that I'm about to read anytime soon, if that makes sense. And then the next few ones I don't really need. The indie published, it's okay because I have a couple of newsletters that I'm subscribed to that give recommendations for indie authors. I also follow indie authors that also give recommendations for other authors, and I have my favorite indie authors as well, so I think I'm good on that front. The like video might be something I do one day, probably not. NetGalley, so I think I've come to terms that I just can't handle NetGalley right now. In terms of ebooks, it's not something that I'm into right now. Like, the only thing that I'm seeing myself doing, it would be the physical book that I'm reading. I can read it on my ebook at night. Right now, I don't think that asking for books on NetGalley is something that is really helpful to me. I do have physical books I want to read, books that I've paid for, books that I'm excited about, that I've researched. On my radar now. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so physically owned, definitely gonna keep that shelf because I need to know what books I have currently. Prime, maybe no, it's fine. I can close that. And then all my read, those are just, it's not something that I really look into. It's so hard to classify a book in one specific genre. I mean, yes, you can just classify them in the main genre that they are into, but I just don't care. Let's get rid of all those. Recommended, I don't care. All this, I don't care. Reread, no, that's fine. I don't need to track. I don't care to track all that stuff. So let's get rid of them. Okay, this is gonna take a while, so just give me a second, okay? Oh my god, this is so many books. This is done. Now, the to read. I have 469 books on there. That's just insane. So yes, I know I want to read them, but I just want to do a redo, I just want to reset everything. So let's just do that as well. Remove books from this shelf. Yes. What? Can I not remove those books? It's taking a while. We've got the Wheel of Death right now. I mean, that's a big number. Oh my god, okay. This has never been done before. Okay, let's see. where we are at now. Oh, what does it say still want to read? This shouldn't be... Oh, it only selected 60 and it took that long to move it. Wait, did it remove from read? Oh, I am so confused. What just happened? Excuse me, cat, do you have to come and do that here? You do? Okay. Okay, I think that might be the way to do it. Okay, so this should take a little bit, right? Oh my gosh. This wait, the suspense. Is this gonna work? An error? Why would you give me an error? Why is this so complicated? I just want to get rid of those books. Oh my god. Okay. This isn't working. So what I could do would be do 100. Let's say, right? Let's reload and do 100. Oh, it did work. How anticlimactic then. Let's just select all those ones, the 10 last books that, or 11 I guess, that were not removed. I feel like that's only 10 though. Is there one more somewhere? What's going on? Is this done? Are we good? What do you mean there's one? Clearly there's none. Oh, what's going on? What would you say that there's one? Is this a bug? What is going on? I don't know. There's some sort of a bug. Maybe there's still one somewhere. I don't know what's going on, but I don't care to find out how to fix this. It is whatever. It will fix itself. My red shelf is at 203 books, and then my currently reading is the book that I'm currently reading, which is A Book of Night by Holly Black. And then my want to read should be 0, whatever. My DNF books are all the books I've DNF'd, that I guess I've started tracking my DNF, so I may have DNF'd before, but never tracked those. So here we are. My physical TBR shelves, TBR bookshelf is not up to date, however. So I will talk about the books I have recently acquired. All right, welcome back. So now I'm just gonna be showing the books that are on my TBR currently. So first, there's one book that's on my partner's bedside table, just because that's a book that we want to read together. So anyway, he's the one who has it, and this is Upgrade by Blake Crouch. We really liked Blake Crouch first recent books, because he's been an author for a while, but he got a boost of fame with his Dark Matter book, so we really enjoyed that one. But The Recursion was the book that we did not like, just because if you want to write a book about scientists, you need to do some research about how scientists conduct themselves, is all I'm saying. So this one sounds exciting from what I've read, but I really tried not to read much at all, so I'm just excited about it because hopefully it's gonna be great. And it's usually sci-fi with mystery thriller, so it's a great genre that I think he's writing, and I think it's super interesting, even if sometimes I don't really end up enjoying the book. Then I've got 3 here that are on my bedside table. I would say one is permanently, wow. One is gonna be here for a while, and the others are just here because I want to read them and I just forget maybe. Anyway, okay, so the first one is A Rune of Roses. This is a fantasy romance. I had started reading it. I mean, I did a pretty good chunk. It's an indie published. It's by K.F. Breen. I'm excited to continue reading it. The next one is an old one. It's Hide Yourself Away by Mary Jane Clark. This is an author that is usually mentioned in terms of, it's kind of like Nora Roberts type of story. So I had also started this book, literally just read the prologue, so here we go. This was something I wanted to read after reading what's that book that I really didn't like? A Book of Cold Cases. because it was really similar to that one, but it just didn't grip me straight away. So it's still on my TBR. It's just gonna be on my long TBR, like long-term TBR. Yeah. And then this one is What to Expect When You're Expecting. Pretty self-explanatory. It's just something I want to start reading. Maybe I should have started reading already. So now let's go to my other bookshelf and see, or my actual bookshelf, or TBR bookshelf, and see what else is on my TBR. All right, so these are the books on my TBR so far. All right, and if you hear some sound, it's just the water for the cats. This is going to be a bit of an interesting angle, but we'll go with it. First, we have Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I've only heard great things. This is potentially a good entrance to Brandon Sanderson's. It is YA, so hopefully, I mean, it is quite a chunker, but I don't know. I really want to, like Brandon Sanderson just because he is a prolific author and people really enjoy his books. I just haven't yet. So we'll see. Actually, there's a second book from him. This one is middle grade. I thought that maybe middle grade could also work for me to get into his books. This one is Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. So just the title is awesome. So hopefully it's good. For my TBR, really, I try to cater books that have different genres that I'm interested in, so that way when I'm done with one book I can be in the mood for a specific genre, or I'm not really sure and what I would want to read, and have a wide variety, if that makes sense. So the next one would be The Woman in the Library. This is a new release by Solari Gentle, and this is a thriller. It's a thriller inside a library where someone gets murdered, and there is a group of people that have to stay within the library until the murder is solved, but apparently one of them is the murderer or is a murderer. I don't know, but it sounds exciting. I've heard good things about it. The next one, this is an oldie on my TBR. Whoops. So I've had actually started it, and I was pretty far through it, but I did lose my page, so I don't know, maybe I can find it again, or find a chapter that I was closed, that is close to where I was. But this is A Spell for Chameleon by Piers Anthony, and this is one of my partner's favorite books, and I want to read all his favorite books, and I think this one is the last one that's on the list, so that would be great if I could finish it. It's actually really good. It's a very classic fantasy. It's humorous, but it's good funny, it's not like Kings of the Wild funny. The humor is good, the writing is good, the storyline is interesting, kind of crazy. Anyway, then there's this second book, which, why would I buy a second book in a series when I don't have the first book? Like, does that make sense to anyone? No, I don't know. I did read the first book, but I had it as a library book and I really enjoyed it. I think the story is so easy to read. Anyway, the title is The Fake Keeper by H.E. Edmo. And can you not bite me? Thank you. This is the sequel to The Witch King. And then I have Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. This is the author who wrote The House in the Serene Sea, a book that I loved, and so I wanted to check out this one. However, this one deals with the main character, I think, when we first meet him dies or something. So these themes that I don't know if I'm necessarily inclined to want to read right now or anytime soon, so I hope I can pick it up before the end of this year, but we'll have to see. It was one of my anticipated reads, but I think from what I heard from people, it is quite intense that way, so maybe I'll hold off. We'll see. Next one is The Dry by Jane Harper, and this is a actually I was a little bit cheap on that one. I should have just got the new the new version, but I got a used one and it's kind of gross. Anyway, so I actually don't remember what it was about, but the synopsis always sounded interesting to me every time I read it. So I wanted to pick it up to start reading her books because she has quite a few after this one, or a couple at least. Not sure, but it's some sort of mystery thriller. Could be good for summer, could be good during winter if I want some heat, maybe. So we'll keep that one here. And then finally on this shelf is The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Schrefer. And this is a sci-fi book. I think it's a romance sci-fi. So, but from what I've heard, it's quite sad. It's about loneliness. I think this is what is this car doing? You can't just back up like that. Also, you had so much space. Why would you back up? Anyway, I think this is in this genre that I think I will like, which is romance in a sci-fi genre. So I'm excited about this one, but I guess I need to be in a good mood to read something like this because it seems like it might be a bit sad. Alright, so far that's all the books I have. So yeah, that's the ones I'm gonna add to my GoodReads shelf. So I think also what I was trying to do this year is that, I mean, it didn't really work, but I was trying to do only buy one book, only buy one book when you have finished one book. So I have sort of been doing this, but minus the pre-orders that I've done. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, it'd be great if you could give it a thumbs up so I know that you're watching and enjoying. And if you're enjoying, maybe think of subscribing so you don't miss any of my videos. I will try to make them less sporadic, but yeah, there's just a lot. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day. Bye.